boy, here we go.
Here we go.
You stole, hombre.
Hello, lovely Starbites and enjoyers of D&D stuff.
Howdy, hi.
How you doing, everybody?
It's good to see everybody that is or will be here. It is really good to be here as well. I don't know about y'all, but this is a beautiful day.
I'm not usually up this early.
I'm sorry about that. But
That's fine.
Why can't everybody wake up at noon?
So yeah, as it says in the description, we are celebrating the 1-year anniversary of our ridiculously stupid D&D podcast, Blades and Blunders.
It's been beautiful.
With an emphasis on the blunders.
Oh yeah.
This has
I mean,
been
really though, like there's one blade.
And it's made of storms. It's not even blade design.
Hey, that's not even true. Cintron uses daggers.
That's true. There are blades.
yeah, but does she?
And there are blades on the arrow, and there are blades on the arrowheads of her crossbow bolts. So
I think it's further.
I'm pretty sure that's just called a barbed crossbow bolt or something.
it's sharp.
Sharp rocks and blunders. Either way, I think this further makes the point that there's been more blunders than blades present during this event. It's been a ripe, tasty year, to be entirely honest. My first D&D campaign, by the way. I don't mean to take the spotlight necessarily, but it's been really enjoyable having people to meet consistently and hash out a story that evolves entirely through its own cacophony, through the chaos.
I mean, if you want to be technical, Gene, this is also my first D&D campaign, and I think the same holds for Zach.
Oh, thank you.
For real? What?
And absolutely Dylan, who is unable to speak in voice chat because...
Yeah, his micro... So, yeah, Dylan is here, the one who does Stormatrig, but unfortunately their microphone is... So we will be trying to talk through them with them. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about... We're going to spend some time talking about... just talking about, in general, the campaign, as well as answering questions first. And I put a thing out like a month ago, and unfortunately we got one question in that time.
Yo, this means we have a lot of meat to talk about this question in depth. We got time to unfold into the...
But we can also take questions live. I see we have
A Gar of Lanky, it says?
Yeah, I don't know if we're probably butchering trying to say that, but I want to go ahead and... I want to go...
Gar of Lanky. Or Gar of Lank.
I would have thought it was Grav Lanke.
Gar of Lanky.
Grav Lanke. I'm sorry.
I've also tried to cook up a few questions for like the group as a whole, and I've tried to prompt everyone to have at least just to come to the table with, but yeah, so I can do like my lightning. But
let's go ahead and answer. I want to go ahead and answer this because we have a particular Starbite. They're probably not in the chat yet, but whenever they watch this, Lego Builder 899, you are the fucking Starbite of the year. I will go ahead and say that as the one who asked this question.
Absolutely.
So the actual question they asked was, let's see, how do you guys stick to your character traits? I've had problems keeping things consistent over long periods of time. I was mostly wondering if you had any tips for keeping in character for your character traits.
Can I
that's actually a really good question too.
Yeah. So let's.
Can I add on to this question?
Sure.
All right. I would also like everyone to talk about when they're doing this, what gets to the character, like you're getting to play.
Right. Let's go ahead and just go down the line in the Discord chat. Nipper, you go first.
Okay, so it's funny that I'm the first one being asked this, because I feel like Nipper's kind of fluctuated as a character, kind of like a real person can, but like...
Yeah.
Voice has been one of my favorite qualities, but...
Recent episodes that have been posted have shown that. But,
Yeah.
Chaos.
You've had a dynamic time developing what kind of person Nipper is.
Nipper is an avatar of chaos.
The funny thing is, I don't think Nipper's done yet. I don't actually think Nipper's done yet, because there's still like, some stuff that's got to be worked out. But, I think the thing thing that like gets me into the mindset of Nipper, and the thing that I try to maintain while I'm playing is like, you know, you got this guy, and he's like, his whole thing is like, the world around him is something that is a constantly changing force, and there's so much randomness to it that there might be like a grand scheme order to things, and you see that, you respect it, but like when you get down to the finer details, it's, you know, it's kind of a whatever thing, and you can just kind of play by ear as you know.
There's something to be said about a whatever thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the mindset I try to go into, like when playing Nipper. I don't know. I feel like the thing that kind of keeps the character relatively stable is I know where this character's come from, and I know generally what he tries to bring to the table, and that, I think, because all of us have said that like our characters are like basically us translated into the game, or like what we want to be translated into the game.
Yeah.
At least in some capacity.
It's if you take our brain and then throw it through a filter of ending up in a fantasy world, what comes out on the other end?
In other words, these characters are filthy self-inserts.
You got it entirely.
In a
100%.
game that was fucking built for it, so I mean...
Yeah.
So I like to
It's
think
like
that
we've been
Nipper's actually
isekai.
the furthest from being a self-insert in the group.
Yeah, it's
Which is hard to believe,
you know,
I'm sure.
playing a character that's very much not you it's an
It's
interesting
hard to do
challenge.
sometimes.
You nail the voice every time, if I might add.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite parts.
I love I love doing the
I
voice.
think-
It's
I
something
think-
I'm very glad about, too.
I hope we can all agree that pretty much I think Nipper has the most distinct voice and probably has definitely had the most in the group.
Yeah.
I am glad you guys think so. I really am.
Alright.
I basically took if you I'm gonna give you this specifically. If you remember Davenport's voice from Taz Balance, I kind of tried to filter that slightly, and that's how I got what I got. So,
Nice. Very nice. Ryer Day.
I mean, I think Quill pretty well covered it. You know, it's like, you know, a large part of it is just because this character is me in, you know, a lot of capacity.
Yes.
Just like amp up the done with everything.
There's an inflection on it. Yeah. I always imagine like your head engulfed in very like up to your chin in really noble armor, and being very concise with what you're saying, and also very done with bullshit at all times. It's a very
the funny thing is, like, Zach, you're pretty fed up with bullshit on a regular basis. So.
I know, but like just magnifying that a bit more, and like maybe like instead of sleeping in until noon or beyond noon, it's instead just 3 hours of sleep a night, and that's basically where Ryer Day's coming from.
Is it better? Is it worse? Who knows?
He's so done all the time because he only gets 3 hours of sleep a day.
And I'm only half joking. It's not that bad, and he probably has nights where he's able to sleep well, but not many.
Yeah, but Ryer Day could be facing a hyper like a omni demon and be saying, "Can we get this over with? I want to get to bed. Done with this shit. Can we move on?"
That probably sounds about right.
I think it's about with a little more inflection of also. I mean, there's carrying the Stormblade, so there's a big add-on to the character, but you're also just you're like big, like ahead of like frontline in the battles, but also really supportive all around. You go to help folks. I notice that a lot of times. It's really rad, and it creates this kind of I'm done with everything except for you guys air, which I really love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, let's see. Shit, I had something for a sec.
I don't mean to put words in your character's mouth, by the way.
That's right.
But yeah. These characters are amazing. It's amazing to see them unfold, see people add to them.
Yeah, I don't want to try to interrupt. I don't want to try to.
To see where like our characters go from.
Yeah, I don't want to try. I don't want to try to interrupting with this question. Dylan, go ahead and write up your thing while I'm saying this, and then when Spark while Spark talks. Yes. So like one thing I wanted to try incorporating in the campaign when you guys were making your characters is I wanted to try and bring just bits and chunks into it, if that makes sense. Bring up small trials for each character that they would come
narrative, fluff up.
Yeah, like what I did. Like the most recent episode that was posted was the end of the Emerald Wastes. We got and it was just before that where Unthreg kind of went through some shit.
Yeah.
With the person where they came across the and spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, the person who killed him.
Yes.
So, and
It was a crazy battle. It was a good I love the conversation of a ghost saying, "I get it, man."
Yeah.
It was war, so I totally understand you. Burying that battle axe into my gut.
Yeah, and I still haven't done everything.
I think,
yeah.
That's a very orc mindset too. Like.
Yeah, actually.
So Sintra, I remember you saying you've told me before that Sintra is a character you've done a lot in different D&D campaigns.
Sintra is a reoccurring character of mine, so I do know her very, very well.
Very acquaintanced,
I will go ahead and say this. We've tried to play Monster Hunter World together, and you play Sintra in Monster Hunter World. So, like...
Yeah. So Sintra is basically a universal role-playing character of mine. She appears in a lot of different things. The iteration that I put in here is not that much different from how I usually make her. However, the big difference in this time is just how much emphasis on her demon backstory there is.
Yeah.
Right. We're also facing a lot of demons, so it's very present. It's very topical in how we're advancing the story.
So,
I think that's been a very interesting dichotomy for character. But anyway.
Yeah. So, the whole thing about Sintra is that she's basically supposed to be. She's not necessarily a self-insert character on my part because she's like she's everything I'm not.
she's everything you are on the inside because it only came from your wonderful mind.
She's everything I want to be.
Yeah.
She is very much a wish fulfillment. What's the word I'm looking for? Avatar, I guess you could say.
An avatar in a fantasy that you are hashing out.
Yeah. So like, I'm a lot of things, but like, I don't necessarily like the way I look. I don't necessarily call myself I wouldn't necessarily call myself very confident. We both work very hard. I will say that.
Yes.
But she's actually super hot.
Wow.
Well, I can tell you personally that every single person in this call, with specificity on you, is very pretty. But being that kind of nice and that kind of chipper, like, "Hi, buddy, how you doing? I don't even know who you are." It's very difficult. This is coming from somebody who tries to like live that lifestyle every day. It's a freaking roller coaster.
I gotta say though, Jane, like, it's so. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's I don't want to say refreshing to see, but you do a very good job with it, and it really does help boost spirits. And
I appreciate it.
So.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
you're like the chill, laid back kind of wholesome.
Yeah, did I ever?
I'm the very in your face kind of wholesome.
Yes.
Uh,
You're the pick up kind of hug wholesome. I'm the how's it going, buddy? You want a bottle of water or something? Kind of wholesome.
yeah.
Find me a belt of giant strength, and that'll be a bear hug.
There's a few things I want to say about that in a bit, but I want to go ahead and read off Dylan's thing for Stormtrig.
Yeah.
Storm is very much a self-insert. This is my first time doing a D&D campaign with voice, so I had to actually act out of my character. So I just kind of did my own thing. Act out my character. Right. Sorry.
No of.
So I just kind of did my own thing. I don't know how well I've done it, but I at least tried to present Storm as protective and kind gentleman that you don't want to push around. And I have definitely gotten that from him.
I definitely get all those vibes from Storm. He's been a consistently great character repeatedly, and I'm not just saying that because my character's dating him.
Yes. I don't know which is
No
I
idea.
don't know which is my favorite part about Dylan and the way that he evolves, but I don't know if it's better that he's a sweet boy that has a literal goddess. Like they're attached at the hip. They're
Damn goddess.
yes, demi-goddess specifically. But I can't tell if my favorite part is that or the way that in chaos, Dylan has the best voice for. It's not just the way to handle chaotic situations, but it's also probably one of the most golden screams out of the whole group.
He's very, very good at animating his anger.
He's like Courage the Cowardly Dog with how like I don't know how he does it. I wish the mic was available to hear his golden voice, but not possible due to technical difficulties all the same. It's an incredible use of character in my mind. I'm sorry that I'm throwing so much input, but I love all these characters and I love to talk about them.
Oh, then it's your it is your turn to talk about Unthreg.
That's very true. This one's weird. It's also appropriate that it's the last one in the list because you probably realized Unthreg's voice is basically my voice if I hunch my back forward and I'm like
There's literally no difference between the two.
Yeah. Exactly. I know you got a crossbow point on my head, but you want a sandwich? I'm not gonna finish it.
I think Unthreg is definitely the most. Funny enough, is the most mysterious character because he just says so much about his backstory. That his story.
His alignment is obviously lawful good, but I tend to call it lawful stupid. But
Lawful stupid.
It's not wrong.
I don't know if it's
absolutely the guy you'd want to go have a beer with, and I'm the type of person who thinks drinking is terrible.
You got it. Definitely the type of person. Yeah. I can't tell if Unthregg is the type to get you in trouble getting a beer or get you out of trouble getting a beer, or both.
Exactly. I think both.
Yeah.
I think both is a good option.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
What gets you into the character of Unthregg?
If I can be entirely honest, I've had an affinity for incredibly tall characters that are pulling if I can be a weeaboo for a second, the whole Kanamori shit from Eizouken. The tall, lanky, looking at you through half eyelids. You can't tell if they're in passing, want to kick your ass, or are ready to kick your ass if you make a move. It's fun making a character that's not just that's not just the mission ahead, but is also just how you doing? Hey buddy, I don't even know your name, but it looks like half your house has collapsed. Can I help? He's a monk, but I'd never throw the religious elements in unless somebody asks, and it rarely comes up.
To be perfectly fair, the only people who are who actually actively do the religious thing are clerics and paladins. Monks are more like, you know, the nomads from Last Airbender.
Yeah.
A leaf in the wind.
Yeah,
A leaf in
exactly.
exactly. You got it. It's
A leaf in the wind is
that
worth
will
two
help.
in the bush.
Yeah. Oh, motherfucker!
That's a good one. That's a good tagline.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, it's a fun character to play. It's fun to be myself, but also be like a drop kicking helping hand. And I guess it's just fun to personify that taller than life but dead beyond belief personality to danger.
In more ways than one in Thrake's case.
Yes. I'd say I'm
will
dead
admit,
inside, but
though, you've had some of the craziest luck just in general in this campaign.
Yeah,
Talk
it
about
is
crazy luck. What
insane.
about the fucking cars that Storm drew?
Ah,
Yeah.
chat.
That's spoilers.
All right.
Spoilers. Excuse
All right.
you.
Well, I
Excuse
mean,
you.
There's cards. You see, what they don't know is that spoilers about a really good poker game that we're not talking about because that happens later.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have no idea.
That video's not gone up yet, though. You don't need to talk about it.
Go to hell, by the way. I wanted those
soloed
cards.
an illithid. Like, I can't believe you.
I wanted an illithid? Sorry?
You soloed an illithid.
I pretty much did. I guess I did.
Yeah, I am
Go to hell.
I am very much amazed how well Unfreg is to getting out of battles. My god.
I started this campaign bullshitting my way into a hilarious conversation, and I've been doing it ever since.
What are you talking about? Your entire character is a bullshit hilarious conversation.
Yeah, I gotta admit that's true.
I
Like,
realized
Wouldn't be Blades and Blunders if my internet didn't cut out at several points. What did I miss?
We're just talking about how stupid Uthreg is.
Oh, the fact that it's my character's basically me with hunched over shoulders, and I'm a master bullshitter, but it's so fun being like a dead inside helping hand or something.
Uthreg is the most wholesome shitpost person I've ever met.
You got it. You find a wholesome shitpost. That's it.
I still love how I still can't fucking believe we lost the first episode.
Oh, it was so good.
The first thing that actually like happens in combat is the ghost gets suplexed.
Oh yeah.
The biggest guy in the room that I'm kicking the crud out of grabs me in a German suplex and slams my ghostly body into the dirt.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe that that's the thing that starts off the combat in the campaign. Like, it's so funny.
It's usually
It
just
was
sword
so
clashes.
good.
Yeah, it's usually just sword clashes, but I really appreciate the leniency of letting me do silly shit like
Absolutely. I love it.
tackling somebody, grabbing them by the legs and throwing them into some other dude.
Oh my god, you want to talk about bullshit? Did you publish that one quest video yet?
What?
Lord.
You know the one with the fortress and the dinosaur.
Not yet. That should be coming up relatively. That should be coming up relatively soon. I'm working. The episode that's coming up next is the latest. Fucking yes.
It's the Cantor catch-up.
That's coming up.
Oh, is it that one? Cantor catch up?
Yeah.
Yes, that.
Oh, they're gonna love that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yep.
I just
It's gonna be delightful.
We won't mention specifics, but to those watching, we got some good shit ahead.
yeah.
Oh, we got real good.
The next-
2 episodes alone are gold.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And I'm- And I am.
I feel like
I am still mad about what happens in the second of those 2 episodes. But anyway, you were saying.
You have a point.
Sorry,
You
not
have a point.
sorry, Friday. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm not sorry at all. I feel like the entire thing, from like basically the whole arc we're in right now in terms of like the characters and based on what's been posted, because we have actually recorded out of it at this point.
Yeah.
But that block of recordings that ended before our last session, I think is probably the highlight of Blades and Blunders as a campaign.
Oh.
Like, from like when we went to the party at Grandmaster Grandmaster Augustus, up until like before we got to where we're at in the campaign, like all of those recordings are the high point of our campaign so far.
There's a lot of
I don't know if it's gonna keep getting better from that, or if like this is it and we're not gonna get any better than from the fight with Morgana.
I hope things ramp up.
There is going to be
I'm very like confused. You know?
I will say one thing. I'm gonna let you know we're not even to the halfway point of the campaign.
Oh, crud.
Oh!
That's the thing!
I still have quite a bit planned.
See, the thing is, I knew there would be something. I knew there would be something after we go and get all of the Warbane, but I didn't know that it would be of that magnitude, so...
Yes, I'm just making it... I'm going to say right now, even to the point where we've recorded, we are not even halfway through. I have quite a bit planned.
So many plots.
Because there's so much of our characters left to explore, myself probably
and there's also
that we can go into.
And there's also plenty of levels left to gain.
Don't play coy. We all know you just want to be able to use the Staff of the Magi.
No,
we already know. Apollo himself said that Sintra was not going to be using that thing.
Honestly, I'll be happy if I could just get my wings.
I just want my wings, please.
Wait, hang on, wings? What's this about wings? I am very confused.
Divine sorcerers get wings at a certain level.
Yeah, once they reach level 14, they can get wings and they can fly whenever they want.
I'll reiterate that Storm is in the arms of an angel.
That actually answers one of the questions I was gonna pose to one of you guys. But no, I want to see us hit level 20, and I know we're not going to actually do it because you've said that already, Kyle. But I would love to see us hit level 20 because I want to see what the hell these things do.
Have I said that?
I'm pretty sure you have.
You have said on more than one occasion that we are not going to hit level 20 this campaign.
I thought I said you may or may not, and I thought I did like a wink.
No, you specifically said we haven't at least once. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lie. We don't know.
Stilton's in agreement. Wait, what? That's a lie? What?
There are things planned in the future of the campaign that may or may not lead to your characters reaching level 20, possibly, who knows. If you survive it.
So damn bad at this,
if
Kyle,
you survive it.
I love how much of this stream so far is, look, I'd love to talk about it, but you're just gonna have to wait and see because it's gonna be a real humdinger.
It's an optional boss, isn't it?
Oh boy.
It's one of those super hard Final Fantasy super bosses. Wombu is in the
Holy shit, Wombu's in chat. Hey!
Oh shit!
Hey, Womboy.
It's Wombus.
That's awesome. Thank you for coming by.
Wombu?
Yeah.
Wombu, yeah.
Oh, Dylan, your microphone's working.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, Dylan, guys.
Hey! Welcome,
Dylan
Stormatrig.
Wombu cured him!
Wombu has absolved himself our ailment.
Wombu uses lay on hands
He uses lay on hands.
on Storm's vocal cords.
Anyway, so
on Storm's microphone.
Anyway, so yes,
Oh,
welcome Wombu. If you have any questions, go ahead and just post them in chat and we'll answer them. But I do have one question for everyone. I want to know, out of the episodes posted so far, what has been your favorite?
That's real tricky. That's real tricky.
I've been thinking about that. Of the episodes...
I mean, I'm biased, but my favorite one is the episode that's gonna come out next.
Okay.
True. That's
fair enough.
You got Jimmy Simrad.
Hello, welcome to Chat Jiri.
Hello.
Okay.
Uh,
I think my favorite episode has actually been like oh god. I think so far my favorite episode has actually been the Reverence.
That's very fair.
Oh yeah, the one I lost my shit on.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I
also
actually
the.
really liked that.
I think that was the funniest so far because of the.
Something weird happened.
That was one. So that one.
Okay. I want to point
My-
out, Kyle, that you doing such a good job with the Geigar Mountain art is the entire reason that I absolutely love the wild magic in this game.
Yeah. So that part. So I love so the Geiger Mountains part, the whole arc of that. So I love Dingo Doodles. I've watched.
Yeah, I knew this is where that was going.
Yeah, well, it's like the original. When I was first writing that part of the campaign, it's like, how do I make this interesting? They're already in the blizzard. There's already going to be some chaos. And then I discovered Dingo Doodles, and I learned what wild magic was. I was like, wild magic mountains? Why not? And it came out perfectly. I would love to say.
Hate.
Yeah.
I only hate.
I still
Oh, it
love
does not like-
Unthreg gains the ability to fly.
The only thing better than that is already blue.
That was so good. My God.
Okay, Unthreg gained the ability to fly, but remember that there was also one where Unthreg turned blue for no goddamn
Yes,
reason.
which is hilarious because I changed into me.
Well, there was that, but there was also Sintra like shrinking and then gaining back that height.
Yeah, that was the chances of that happening are wow.
It's so good. I love wild magic. If I can be a total nerd for half a second, it's like. If I could be a total nerd for half a second, it's like playing Skyrim entirely only with swords, and then you learn that the Sheogorath's staff or whatever, the Wabbajack exists, and you're like, this game is so zany. I love it.
Wabbajack.
That's years past. My God.
Okay, so
I
that's
have no idea what you're on about because
I
I'm not
don't-
into Elder Scrolls.
I haven't played Skyrim either, but
Get this.
Okay,
Skyrim,
alright.
Skyrim's basically
I am
fantasy.
disappointed by the fact that Skyrim is still relevant. Like,
Yeah, Skyrim is basically fantasy. Sheogorath is basically Alice in Wonderland in Skyrim.
Okay, all right. So
It's funky. It's in your
to tell you-
dreams.
just to give you an idea of what the Wabbajack is, it's like a staff that casts random spells, ranging in effect from complete disintegration to transformation to empowerment. It's always completely random what casts out of the staff.
Oh, beautiful.
If you cast it onto a rat, you might either turn them into a chicken, incinerate them, or turn them into a flame atronach that burns the hell out of you.
Oh boy.
It's hilarious. It's
so
the
that
greatest. It's
so
the greatest
that's
way to play the game.
Nipper's favorite. So Ryerday, what do you think your favorite is?
Of the episodes that have come out, oh boy. See, the thing is, out of just the sessions we've done so far, probably, like, I don't want to say it's my favorite, like, but, like, the highlight for me was just getting started with it, because it was all this brand new thing. The first session, which is now episode 0, the lost episode.
recording, yeah.
Yeah. It was just, it was all new and exciting, and it's like, okay, I have no idea where this is going, but this is good stuff. But since then,
Sorry.
I'll say the Geiger Mountains were pretty damn good. Shit. This is a tough one.
Well, while you're thinking about it, Unfrag.
Hey, thank you. Right, was it the one with the door in the attic where we ran into that illicit, or was that a different one?
No, that is
No,
different.
the door in the attic was like the
The kitchen.
The
Was the pantry.
Yeah, that was the hanging
was,
man's door. It was one which was.
That was really cool, by the way.
That was
sorry
very
to-
clever.
Yeah.
Very
That was
clever.
like there was the group of goblins that you know, as a consolation prize, you gave them some of your gold, Gene.
Yeah, I was like, you guys came up here looking for gold, and I'm not spending this on anything, as I do not need to eat or sleep. So here's a bit, brother.
Jiri Severad says, I don't mess around with wild magic. Last time I was a plant.
Yeah, that can happen.
Oh boy.
You know, I really wish.
I can't wait for that to get rolled. I can't wait for that to get rolled.
And Citra will look and say, hey, look, you actually did it, Nipper. You're a fucking shrub.
A shrubbery.
Oh.
Cut down the tallest tree in the forest with a
A
herring.
herring.
Well, there ain't no shrubbing this off, hey, Nip?
Oh, that's
Oh my
bad.
god.
You see that shook?
I like it. Good job, Stork.
That shook me to my core. Either way,
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
But
to
to be
answer,
certain,
yeah.
is turning into a plant a temporary thing?
Yes.
Please?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a minute or so.
Yeah.
I never know with this shit though. That's the thing.
It's really
Wild
hard.
magic
Not
is.
all of them are temporary, but like most of them are. Like 90% of
Yeah.
them are temporary.
Which is really
Right.
handy. Back to the answering the actual question. I'm really torn because there's been so many moments where you've let me flex my pacifistic muscles. I mean, there's our dear bugbear. There's the little goblins that I gave money to. There's fucking bugbear. There's the time that
I'm so glad Beltar exists. That's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so much of it is so funky. It's been so fun because I've realized only after doing it, like trying to get a pacifistic way through the field, people don't factor that into the equation all the time when they're writing up the stories, and so I throw people for a loop. It's
So
you have to
much
you have to improvise a way out.
The best part of the campaign for me. Like,
I
I'm
appreciate that.
sorry, you guys. I've said this before, but Moonbreak's the best part of the campaign, and it's because Gene sends shit down the rabbit hole so hard.
It's I bullshit an illithid to a different town, and it gets so terrifying because I get so in the moment, but I don't want to like punch their head. I want to talk to it instead. If I have a favorite, it's probably the one. I'm so torn. It's probably, if I can be honest, I have a 50-50. I have a 50-50 of when I told the illithid to somehow go away, which apparently is something that not only a dead guy, not only a guy, but a dead guy can do.
Yeah.
And I'm torn between that and frankly, the heist episode. If that one's out, I don't know if that is.
That's not. It's not yet.
That was
Dang
not out.
flabbit!
That's not out yet.
Dang it! Friggin' temporal differences.
I will say though, I am very impressed by like the whole way the like second episode we posted shook out, because that's the one where we got Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Marcus.
I'm so fucking glad we actually were able to recruit Marcus, because like like Kyle's made it clear that there was a chance that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
And we would have been up a creek without a paddle at several points had we not gotten him there.
Oh yeah.
And there's always something great about the story narrative of a bunch of wayward souls and one really youthful, powerful lad. Just a wee baby strong boy. And
Hi, I'm a ghost trapped inside of a giant fucking stone. And I'm 14 years old. Let's wreck some shit.
was he 14? I thought he was 12
I am
or
14
something.
years old. I am made of gemstone. Let me destroy everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kai said he's 14.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
It's just every single time
And it
Marcus
is.
gets thrown into battle, I always imagine just dun 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 dun, just ear rape.
Yeah, you're right, Thomas the Train, 24/7.
Charge in the battle.
It's like that one like I don't know if it's Source Filmmaker or Jima, but it's the video where it's just like heavy and
We like to party.
It's just a helmet heavy with the Thomas the Tank Engine head just comes in.
The most terrifying.
This is like.
The most terrifying thing isn't just Thomas the Tank Engine; it's Thomas the Tank Engine as the head on a giant something. It's such a nope kind of air. Oh no!
Anyway, getting sidetracked.
We do that a lot.
As usual.
I think we've all been talking over Sparky, who I'm pretty sure hasn't mentioned yet.
I mean, I can't talk about my favorite episode.
Yeah, they said.
All right.
You did.
Yeah, they said.
Start. Yeah.
Yeah, they said it was
Okay,
the one
yeah,
coming
I'm
up
stupid.
next.
All right.
Storm it.
It's
Storm it.
alright, you're okay.
Okay. I've had. Oh, yeah,
Out of the
Storm.
ones that have been posted though, like.
Yeah.
Out of the ones that have been posted?
Any specifics you're a fan
that
of?
was the question.
Well... I'm not gonna lie, it was the fucking wild magic stuff.
Hell yeah!
Come on, you know you love it.
Jack Hughes.
Shut up! Shut up!
Literally the Squidward and SpongeBob meme. You like wild magic, don't you, Sintra?
You like wild magic.
Wild magic, don't you, Sintra?
I like the concept of wild magic. I don't like the execution.
I want to say I do.
will say though, I'm glad that like allowed you to like have Sintra just fucking break down. Like it was so good as a character.
There were great character moments from that.
I want to say I do love the concept of wild magic more. I wish there was more stuff like. Can you imagine wild magic in Lord of the Rings? You shall not pass, and he slams the staff down, and instead of making a wave of power, he just turns it. Gandalf just turns into a fucking ficus.
That'd so be like the vibe of a Marvel movie instead of a Lord of the Rings movie. It'd be so like silly and for kids.
It would be low-key
Someone
shtick.
puts it on and they turn into a fucking into a fucking goat. You know, it's just like
Anybody else can take this idea, but like, this is giving me inspiration to write a story about wild magic being like people do magic regularly, but then wild magic shows up like a disease. Like you catch it and now you can't do magic right. And we gotta find out where that's coming from, and there's mystery behind that, and it's silly, and nobody knows how or why it works.
That
funny that you mentioned that.
That actually kind of reminds me of the Tomb of Annihilation campaign that was released. The entire premise of that is like there is a disease that's happening because like in the timeline that the campaign comes out in Faerun, resurrection is actually quite a common occurrence, and people don't fear death that much anymore. But all of a sudden. Anyone who gets resurrected is slowly starting to decay and rot.
Oh no! Oh no!
And once they die, they will never come back again.
Oh lordy!
The final death, basically.
It's like replicative fading, except it's your original body not being able to keep up with magic.
Yeah,
keeping it alive.
It's actually
it's more akin to Coco, actually. You know, it's like
that's a good way to put it.
It's actually a really compelling campaign because it's actually a race against the clock campaign, because every day that passes in the campaign, the DM describes what's happening in Faerun to everyone. And
that's a way to get immersed. I tell you what, I love that.
So the longer it goes, more and more people are dying and more bad things start happening. And once you find out what's actually going on, you're like, oh shit, this is really fucking bad. And if you don't hurry, everyone is going to die.
Misery and despair, death and dying everywhere.
But I will say, like I was trying to say a moment ago, Gene, it's funny that you should mention like wild magic being utilized more in different mediums. Like suddenly, like everyone everyone's starting to get this magic instead.
Yeah, like it's happening to
So
a
I feel
ton
like
of people.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that could potentially wind up happening in Tao's graduation, just from where that's at. That's neither here nor there, and it's just interesting that you say that.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
That's funny. It's really funny.
The quickest way to not get terrified by the chaos is to jump headlong into it.
Exactly.
That would
work
probably.
for me.
That's honestly just like most of this party in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much. Very much so. Oh, that's good.
Anyway, Dylan, have you talked about your favorites yet?
I haven't actually.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, the mountains was incredible. The sand, the desert, the Emerald Waste was also incredible. Like this
That was
whole
really
campaign
fun.
in general has just been incredible. But my personal favorite so far, of what we've released, has to be the Circus of the Dam.
Oh.
That
whole thing was really good.
Hauntingly well made and executed, I must say. The way that we had no clue what was going on, but could get it just long enough for us to not be able to get out. It was perfect. It was terrifying.
And a fantastically nuanced antagonist.
Thank
you. Absolutely.
Malachi was a lot of fun to make.
I really want, like, in the in a future campaign, I definitely want to make a Living Shadow Warlock.
That's rad, yes.
That would be absolutely fun to play.
I love a super powerful entity that really loves games, and thus my whatever, let's do it, also you're my friend even though I don't know you attitude. If I remember, it kind of like, it catered to Malachi's friggin' to his brain. I don't know what it was. It was like this one.
I like you.
This one's talking sense in the middle of chaos and near death. You can respect that.
I think
I'm happy
another
imagining that.
reason why I really liked it was because immediately afterwards I was kind of a little I wouldn't say, what's the word, kind of a little tiny arc for Storm just right after.
Yeah.
That's true.
That was really good too.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Okay, Kyle.
Yeah.
Go ahead with what you were saying first.
I wanted to say, like, one of my favorite things was at the beginning of, like, just before when I said because I cut this off from the audio, but when I left it off on a cliffhanger saying Malachi was going, let's begin with the show, and then I said, and we'll end it there, and then all of you got so mad at me for cutting it off.
Oh yeah,
fuck you, man!
Yeah, I think Zach actually screamed in pure rage.
Yes.
I don't recall it all that well, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
There's something so wonderful about this campaign that the timing of those will catch you next time. It's like, you know how Dora the Explorer is very interactive, designed for its viewership. We almost have a thing where, and not to toot our own horn, but like in sync with the people watching, we're like, oh, come on. It was so right. So right. All of us and the audience, and I think that's a beautiful little touch. It adds such a humanity to the whole, everybody playing it, but also watching it. I love that a whole bunch. That's so wonderful.
Okay, Kyle, I gotta pose the question to you. What's been your favorite episode that's gone out so far?
My favorite episode that's gone out so far. Let me look over the list. Because there have been a lot of fun moments throughout this entire thing.
Like we've gotten back from the Emerald Waste basically.
Yeah.
We're on the way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's just take the way back. Sorry. That wasn't even close to a Peabody voice. What the fuck?
I don't even know what you were going for. But
C3 Papyrus.
C3
Papyrus. No fucking clue because I've only heard it once.
It has been forever and a day since I've heard the voice, so I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not it.
Okay, so there was, let's see.
It's a good question.
I will
good
say,
stuff.
I think one of the ones I love to go back to was the Battle of the Golden Croc, because that was my first ever boss fight,
Yeah.
and it was it was so much fun to do my DM my first boss fight, and there were things I planned out, like there are certain interactions, like when Nipper said, like when you were like, didn't you just say that? That is something I planned on. I hoped would happen.
Okay, my favorite part of the whole Golden Croc fight is that you made Sintra go Ridley on that guy's ass.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, you rolled a nat 20, and you rolled a nat 20, he rolled a nat 1, it seemed necessary.
I know, but it was so fucking badass.
It makes it so much better that it rolled that way, though. You know?
Yeah.
I think
It was incredible.
I think what I loved about that, not exactly, I do love what Sintra did to that demon more, but I love the idea that the demon just yeeted Marcus out of the wall.
Through
the wall, and then immediately after, like, Marcus just plows through, makes another hole in the wall.
I will say, that was not at all something that I had. That was
it's like that one video. It's like that one video. The Team Fortress 2 Team Neighborhood series.
Oh,
at
God.
one point, Soldier gets launched through a window. He gets up and then peeks his head out the window and smashes the other window with his jump.
I will say, that moment was not something I had planned, but it fit the moment so well. I think that's the thing about being a dungeon master. Like, I watch Critical Role, and there was a funny moment, because, like, there were parts with, I think a lot of dungeon masters, because there were just things that fit the moment, and then it just works out so well. One of my favorite moments near the end of Critical Role, spoilers for those who haven't caught up, if you want to just mute for like a quick...
Yes.
But there was one moment, so the character Vax, he ended up becoming immortal in a certain way, like, and in order to kill the final boss, the Raven Queen made it so he can't be killed, in exchange that he would then be taken afterwards. And they ended up in the Feywild, where they met an Archfey. It's like, can you send us back? Because this is an Archfey they met before. It's like, can you send us back? Like, we know time here is different. Can you send us back almost immediately after we left? It's like, I can do that in exchange for two things. One, I would like you to establish a way for me to come there someday. I would love to see the Prime Material Plane. Alright, what's the other thing? The Archfey looks at Vax. I would like to strangle you to death. and Matt Mercer during that episode, he said, like, I did not plan that, but it fit the moment so well. And so there was
That is so perfect.
Matt is a blessing among men.
Matt
There's
Mercer
a
is
beautiful
amazing.
flexibility of being a DM that I don't even understand yet. I can only imagine. But I love carefully building a scene. I've loved treading a line between carefully building a scene and saying, okay, roll 20 on this dex roll or get yoked.
Yeah, really. You guys have had some amazing rolls that have completely destroyed things. That will come up in one of the future episodes we post. Because
I mean, there's one of them. There's one, like, I got, spoilers for the next episode. Just tiny spoilers. I got the most useless nat 20 yet. and I'm pretty sure y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
wow.
And now the audience is all like, how do you have a useless nat 20? How is that even possible? Oh, it's possible. It's very possible. And you're going to see exactly what he's talking about, and you're going to laugh.
It ain't just possible, it's easy.
It's amazing how.
Fucking hurt to laugh at that, though.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Either way.
Anyway, if I can, coming back to me on the question of, like, highlights, I guess.
Yeah.
I will say the Wild Magic, I do have to agree, the Wild Magic Mountains were really, really good. And
Very clever, very
honestly,
beautiful.
if I was to make a specific choice for one in particular, that would probably be it.
Highlight of the campaign so far.
Yeah.
I begrudgingly admit.
That said, some other good bits. Meeting Marcus for the first time. See, I mentioned this at the time.
With Morgan Frogman.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I forgot I did that.
Oh lordy.
I legitimately did that.
Oh lord.
Frogman.
Complete.
Yeah, there was that. But the thing is, I think what this was, it was the one Discord server that you had put out, like, the advertisement for that I joined and then proceeded to do nothing in. But I'm pretty sure you talked about the plans that you had for that session in that server, and I saw them, and then when we actually recorded it, you were describing what's going on, and it's like, wait, shit, I've heard this.
Wait, I know this.
Yeah, exactly.
Where have I seen this before?
Yeah, there was that.
I must say, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, yes.
Yes, yes.
But,
No,
like,
that was it.
but like going into that, knowing what was gonna happen, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a whole other. That was a whole other experience for me. But I mean, the session on its own though was really good.
Yeah, I'm happy that since that was the second episode we did, I'm happy it went well.
I loved the Pinocchio parallels with Marcus.
Yeah, that was actually pretty nice.
It's
I will say,
super cute, super wholesome.
Like we've collectively done some very bizarre stuff in this campaign, and it's kind of hard to keep track of all of it.
And that's saying something considering our little bizarre adventure.
In every sense of the word, something weird has been happening.
Indeed.
I think genuinely speaking, the most normal episode we've had was the third episode of the campaign.
Oh, with the Church of Savros.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's probably been the most normal episode we've had.
And that's saying something.
Yeah. Like.
Gargoyles was pretty normal.
That was the Gargoyles one.
That was the Gargoyles. Okay, I lost the number. I lost the number.
That was the same thing. Because, like, the other, like, generally speaking, normal episode I can think of were, like, the two, the Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Oh, that was...
But even then, that wasn't normal.
Yeah, no.
Because that shit was kind of crazy in its own way.
Yeah, I mean, to pull a line from Sparky, you better hope I roll low on this. And the sound of dice clattering, a moment of silence. Low on this.
I want to say something. I was re-listening to that a bit ago, and funny enough, Sintra actually should have won that.
What?
Because when you roll that Constitution check, you should have rolled with the dragon stats.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know it's a little late to say that, but...
Wow.
Oh,
Oopsie doodle!
The span time between it happening and you saying it makes up like half the comedy.
I don't mean like where we were like all trapped in the mindscape fighting each other. I meant the battle royale fucking, I guess that's not the right term. But it was the Artificer tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great
that
episode.
Was pretty normal, all things considered, and that's saying something. Like.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm still very proud of my little Franklin badge incident.
That was
Oh my God,
very
yes.
nice.
Yeah, I want to say between. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, in terms of my highlights, the Artificers tournament was another like your Franklin badge stunt, and then just Isaac's everything was just.
Oh God, Isaac.
Isaac was so much fun to
I'm not gonna lie.
mess
I'm not
with
gonna lie.
you with.
Artificers was a really good bundle of content.
Shadar Kai are
I-
very interesting characters to play as, speaking from experience.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I love how the like few times that there's been. I completely forgot about this when we were doing the Adamas recording, Zach. But I love how the 2 times where there's been an opportunity for me as a character to fight like one of the members of the group, I essentially wind up taking myself out of the fight in one way or another. Because like Belto did not need to have to hit me for that last turn.
Yeah.
I kind of did that to myself.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah, using
know,
the
man.
wrong ring.
that was something that I wanted to do because I had seen like the option for it, and I was like, oh, this sounds cool. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's basically turned into the whole campaign for everyone. So
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Oh boy.
alright.
But yeah.
So anyone else got a question? Because if not, I think we may jump into my lightning.
I got a
Um,
little bit to ask. I don't know if anybody else wants to go first.
I gotta do a quick bathroom break. Sorry.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Be
Fair
right
enough. Fair
back.
enough.
That's fine.
So-
we can hit you later.
I do have a question from someone who DM'd me. Why are you so awesome?
Oh, that's so
I
sweet.
think that was
Is that a
specifically
general?
directed at you.
No, it's for us.
Okay.
Specifically, why is this crew so awesome? Is that it's a wonderful bundle of human beings that have a wonderful bundle of human beings watching them, and it's been a wonderful time for how many months? Like 12, because it's the 1-year anniversary. Why the hell am I asking that question? 12 months is the answer to the question that I asked myself. You're welcome.
Oh god.
See, the problem is that being half dead on
I
it.
my hand so I didn't laugh too hard.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, we just got a question from the audience from Jiri.
Oh boy.
Best failure.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Uh,
I don't remember all of our failures. Like,
How about every time I rolled a fucking wild magic?
that was definite. Best failure is definitely Unthreg gains the ability to fly. So, quick context for those
That's such a
those
failure,
watching
it
the
wasn't a failure.
contest. It's amazing because it was wild magic rolled up, and it was such a random. The chances of Unthreg being given the ability to fly out of everyone in the party was amazing.
I will say from my What?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, thank you. I will say straight up that I will make that failure, being turned blue and the ability to fly when having both of those exact things. I'll say that is runner up to the best failure, because that was such a failure that it failed to be a failure, and something's got to be a little more spectacular than that. It's got to be like, it's one thing if it's a failure and nothing happens. It's another thing if it fails and it goes so
Okay.
sideways in a way that you
Completely off the
appreciate.
rails.
That is
okay,
true.
okay. Unthreg. You just made a combination of words. You're a ghost. You were blue and you were flying. I gotta make this joke.
Yes?
10,000 years will give you such a oon in the Threg.
The sun oon in the thread.
I go.
Oh my god.
I make a quick bathroom break, and I have no idea what I have come back to.
I'm blue. I'm a ghost. I fly.
We've been asked what the greatest failure of the campaign was, and we are talking about Unthreg being given the ability to fly and turn blue. So,
Right.
10,000 years will give you such an oomph in the threg. Kills me right down to my right to my toes.
I have no idea what the hell that even means.
That's Robin Williams' genie
it's the
from
genie
Aladdin.
from Aladdin. 10,000 years will give
Okay.
you such a crick
Big-
in the neck.
Big blue flying, so on and so forth.
Okay,
Oh,
well
God.
that explains it. I it is, but I don't know if I ever saw Aladdin. I know I need to. But
I call you my
if
friend?
If I did see it, then I just have a really shit memory, which is not a surprise.
I think a lot of those movies were the most popular in a period where people of our age demographic were like less than 7, so our primary memories hadn't taken form yet.
Yeah.
It's all primordial and it's primordial and created through what people told you more than it is.
If I had to bring up something as another idea as the best failure, it would be Unthreg jumping off the stone golem during the Emerald Waste after the boss fight, how he face planted.
Yeah, like
After...
I posted that
because he was Sorry.
I posted the one clip from Requiem for a Pizza where the scout just jumps out of the tree, does like a triple axle flip, and then just goes splat on the ground.
Because I think that is one of the best. I think that's one of the best failures because Unthreg had been rolling so good up until that point.
It was the best face plant ever.
It's like winning.
I'm sitting here imagining like that quick time event from that one Spider-Man game.
Oh my god!
Burning and the woman's tied up.
I'm going to die.
I'm going to die.
Oh Lord!
Still one of the best memes ever.
Easily, yeah.
Really good though.
Oh Lordy.
I'm sorry, you guys.
I'm happy to have some of those spectacular films, because I think if there's anything that could be said about my expertise, it's screwing it just right.
Oh man, we're losing. Oh god, we're losing them! Someone get the... Wait, he's a fucking ghost!
Jeez, Chad is getting like super robot-y. Did I just... Oh, we might have lost... Okay, we lost a bit of it there.
Maybe.
Oh.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
It's coming. It's been watching the fail. You do. Again, I'll chop.
Jesus Christ! Oh my god!
I think also one of the best failures that we've had. Another Geiger Mountains thing, actually. We wound up, what was it? I navigated, and I specifically rolled with the Gambler's Ring, and we wound up going down the mountain, and then it led to us getting out of the mountains! I helped our group more by failing than I did by succeeding, and I can't believe that fucking happened.
Yeah, that is...
and that is why your entire career is your best failure, Nipper.
Exactly.
See, okay, the thing that I would highlight as like the best failure is not technically a failure, and the thing is, I cannot talk about it because it's not. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and that makes it so much better.
I could think of a best failure.
Exact same time there too.
I could think of a best failure Sintra seduced. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's the only thing. I love that most of Sintra's content is the stuff in the future tense, because despite all of it being wonderful, it gets so freaking meaty in the later episodes.
Once Sintra's arc starts rolling, it goes nonstop, and it's just merciless at this point.
I was gonna say, I just remembered my favorite fail from what Stormtrig did. It was with the Bard Festival, and Marcus and Storm was kind of trying to scout out the two suspicious.
That's right, and
yet, even though Stormtrig was invisible, he still failed on all his stealth checks.
It's perfect.
I think I rolled on that one. He went on something and fell while invisible.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Okay. I wanna like part the curtain just a little bit for like the few people who are watching this. But like you have said multiple times in like the past 3 or 4 months that you're starting to like view Stormatrig more and more like Croc from the Emperor's New Groove, and that's such an in-character thing to have failed a stealth check while invisible.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Of course, there's also that one that I think it was Emperor's New Groove where he just like flattens himself against the wall and goes completely unnoticed, despite being this hulking mass of a man. It's like
Yeah.
Notice people turn and stare at him. Look, and they just move along.
And Citra's narrating in the background like big, adorable Ed tone deaf. I regret ever being unconscious for all this.
Oh lordy. Oh crazy.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. It's all going together.
and you broke him again. Congrats.
Yep.
It's
Oh,
perfect.
there's another thing from Jiri.
Mark is terrible of you.
Hey.
I think this is another question from Jiri. Forbidden information.
I think that's just talking about how we're making a lot of references to
We
future
keep talking
shit we
about
can't talk
spoilers. So,
We would be
Yeah.
terrible, terrible time travelers. We keep talking about crap that hasn't happened yet.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't stop myself. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love that. Have you seen that one meme? It's like travel back in time to Egypt. It's like, yeah, we just had to deal with these locusts. Oh, you mean the first of the 12 plagues? The what?
What?
The what?
that wasn't even a push. That was like the 4th.
I.
It was early on though. It was pretty good.
It's good though.
Yeah.
No,
I
it
got
was the first. It was the first.
No, I think the first was frogs.
No, it wasn't.
hang on.
Yeah.
It was frogs.
No, wait. Yeah, I think that's right. Wasn't the first?
Yeah. Yeah,
the
no,
first
it
either
was frogs. It was
or
frogs.
Lake or River of Blood.
No,
Yeah, it was River of Blood, I think, first.
Water to Blood was the first. Frogs
Yeah, it was-
was the second. Lice was the third. Hang on.
The boils were next.
Locusts was the 8th.
Yeah, I think the boils were like the 5th or something like that.
I love that in this tale, the absolute yeah. What?
Boils were 6th.
Right. I love how in this tale, the absolute degradation of society starts off with a frog landing in your drink when you're sitting on your patio.
Morgan Frogman. I just imagine Morgan Frogman in the plagues.
Oh god.
Oh lord.
Just a plague of Morgan Frogmans.
Oh,
No.
Oh my
yes!
Yeah!
And now we see the plague in its natural environment. I'm Morgan Frogman. I'm Frogman.
Honestly,
Just the air is filled with a cacophony of Morgan Freeman narration.
oh yeah.
It makes a droning sound that echoes from miles.
Yes.
It's like someone wakes up in like China, someone in China's waking up and just hearing the echoes. It's like, what's that noise?
I can smell you.
It is the sound of dulcet tones plaguing the earth.
Yeah, slowly encompassing the earth.
Okay, I have another question for all of you.
Okay.
Favorite NPC?
Oh,
Malachi,
that's such a frickin'.
Malachi.
I mean,
And it doesn't have to be a reoccurring NPC. It can just be one that you've met.
Okay, I love all the NPCs that we made, but I think the one that threw me the most for the loop was the little old halfling lady.
That's fair.
Yeah.
she was a hoot.
That was
A hoot and a nanny.
I had so much fun with the old halfling lady. That was so much fun.
Oh
You
boy.
know how funny it would be if we actually saw like the character that she thought was Stormatrig? Like later in
Oh
the campaign.
boy. You have to do that at some
Yeah,
point.
you have to.
It's so hard to integrate.
I
but
have
it
to
can
now,
be
yeah.
hard.
That's a good point.
One of these little bylines on the road has to have some chaotic event that's related to that.
But
Like we just meet him and we're all staring at each other like, ah, shit.
Well.
Well, this is awkward.
I feel like I would be extremely biased towards like Malachi and fucking Mabel because they're both like extremely spooky, and that's kind of my personal vibe.
That's true.
But Malachi has been my favorite so far because he's just such a character.
Hilda Freya's daughter. What's her name again?
Iris.
Iris.
Yeah, honestly, I really like her.
She's a delight and a half.
Iris is a fun fact. Iris is the first ever D&D character I made.
I think
you
forced.
for like the campaign that Josh was trying to run and never got around to.
I think you've mentioned, that she was your first, but
I don't think it's been recorded, so I'm just saying that for. It was when I was like just beginning to learn Dungeons. I was like, okay, how the fuck do I do this? And the process of doing it, Iris came about.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Favorite NPC. Well, there is the obvious choice of Marcus. He's real fucking good.
Marcus is really good.
Pretty overpowered. Pretty MVP.
There's that.
I feel like Crystal doesn't get enough respect.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Little bit.
Crystal is personally my favorite.
Yeah.
With good
I'm
reason.
not surprised
Wonderful
by
character.
that knowledge.
And I do.
Fun fact: apparently, she's a red-headed Winry.
Winry.
Yeah, that is pretty much It's a taller, buffer, red-headed Winry.
That's right.
I also I think she does need a bit more screen time. But what you did with Violet in the Geiger Mountains was pretty good. All that.
That was a layered cake, and it was very tasteful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But yeah,
Very
like Violet and Marcus would probably have to be my top two contenders, but that's
Yeah.
Fred, your favorite?
They're all good time. They're all delights.
I kind of wish we could get like more characters
how
out
the
of
fuck?
Alexander, because I don't think we've gotten anything. Really.
Yeah, we also talking about more screen time. Evidence that more screen time is needed because I forgot like a fucking moron. Isaac! Dumbass!
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Isaac is gonna
That makes
need
sense.
more screen time when he like shows up in the campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like we oh god. I also we do not give Amber enough screen time. We've like
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go ahead and just say like we are actually doing an arc with Amber as one of our NPCs. I still don't think we've gotten a lot out of her, all things considered.
Yeah.
I actually made
There's a reason for that, but the point still stands.
I just made a little joke thing. I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, and
Oh god.
Oh,
Falls
yeah, I
Friday.
remember that from yesterday.
Yeah, no. As I said, no.
But imagine if it did happen.
no.
It would not be Amber. Like that's one of the things Zach specifically said.
Exactly. Thank you.
But no,
What about
okay,
with me,
I think we
Friday?
Not getting involved in anything poly. No thanks.
Dang it.
Call me a stick
we
in the
have not
mud if you
heard
will.
from Gene on this one. We have not heard from Gene on this one yet.
Yes. Favorite NPC. I'm gonna be very honest. Like, so many people are great. Malachi's gold. Everybody in Cantor is wonderful. I have a. There's such a joy that I finally understood Shadow Monk debauchery. If I was a D&D, I couldn't have come up with something that clever. So I respect it and I love it, and that probably is my favorite. Even for a minute, it was wonderful.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I do also have to give credit due that Girona was played really well.
Thank you, Girona.
And that's good, and we'll be seeing more of him at some point. So
I love the deconstruction of a serious guild with people doing a serious mission involving a town. Breaks down into a babysitter handling 5 various children, and it wasn't a slow process. It was just right into, hey, Girona, you're watching these
so
kids.
Good.
this was not in the job description.
No, it was not.
Girona is.
And they only had 3 days left until retirement.
Girona was a fun character to make. Like a lot of other NPCs in this story, he was a character I wrote for a completely different story that I incorporated in this one.
You tend to do that a lot, but I respect that.
Yeah, no, I completely get recycling characters. I 100%.
The D&D
I
asset
do like-
flip.
I do like the ability to repurpose characters like Garfield the Dill's Warlock and that kind of thing. But
Motherfucker.
Okay. So do you mind if I just burn through like my person-specific questions real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Just so you know, Gene went AFK, but
Okay, so I'll get him left. Zach, since you were the most recent one speaking, what do you want to get out of Rider Day as a kid?
That's
Lost him. We lost him.
Perfect timing.
We fucking lost him.
What?
What you were asking them a question?
What time?
Only me.
Zach?
what?
You
There you
immediately
are.
cut
Okay,
out.
You're back.
Oh my god.
That was so good.
As soon as you went to answer
Holy
it, you
shit.
went out.
He's not fully back yet.
I don't think he's back. No.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get like the.
Are you fucking kidding me?
There we go. There we
Oh.
go.
Wow. Okay. I swear to God, this thing has a sense of timing. Speaking of my internet having a sense of timing, there's a certain, quick off topic. There is a certain thing from, the next episode up that we need to talk about, near the end where we have that one clip that went awry. You know what I'm talking about, right, Kai?
Oh yeah. I think I know.
I'm not sure.
Guy?
I'm not sure.
I'll DM you about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, the question. Okay, so did we move on to somebody else's question, or did y'all?
No,
we
we
didn't hear your
haven't even heard
answer.
We haven't even heard your answer yet, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. You got it.
I know, but okay. I was wondering if y'all went to someone else while waiting for me to get back from connection help. Anyway,
No, you can-
what I want to get out of Rider Day as a character, okay, as I had been starting to say, his backstory hasn't been brought up a whole lot with, in the actual campaign and recordings itself.
I have plans.
So I don't want to pull the covers back too much on that because spoilers and whatnot.
I have plans.
But I do. I'll admit I was at a bit of a loss. It's like, wait, shit, what do I do with this? But then some shit happened, and it's like, oh wait, ideas.
There you
So-
go.
And then it blew up.
Huh?
And then it blew up. So we have to wait for another round of that.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I can work with that, but it's just a matter of, it changes how it's gonna work, and a lot of it is gonna be, kind of below the surface. I need to get better at hint dropping. Like I need to do some of that. I need to, get better with that. But
It ain't easy. Like I think about that a lot myself. Dropping hints on or off video is a brain teaser.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's actually one of the things that Dylan has been hitting really well in the campaign.
yeah.
Just to
Positively.
throw credit where
Thank
credit's
you.
due. Okay,
Yeah.
So is that good for your answer?
I guess
Got
pretty
more you
much.
wanna say?
Yeah.
Gene.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Is the question what we want out of our character?
I've got a different question for everyone.
Okay, yeah.
What possessed you to?
And you cut
As an
out too.
orc,
Monk.
What
as,
I
an
mean-
as an undead orc wraith monk. What
Undead.
specifically possessed you to play as that?
orc wraith monk.
What possessed you to play as a go?
Initially,
I see how my wordplay there.
yeah.
But serious question.
If I can be honest, I have an affinity for playing as orc was the first step, because that was I like playing as the species at the point in history that may not entirely be of good reputation.
You like underdogs.
Yeah, or even like either the underdogs or playing as if there's a huge invading empire war. I like to play as the empire guy, but be very helpful. You know.
So
You'd be like the nice Klingon, basically.
Yeah, but
basically you're Adrian Shepard, Half-Life opposing forces. Yeah.
I was thinking more like Worf at the very start of Next Generation, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's despite the tensions between not just certain people but entire races of people. I like to play as the one that's usually not the good guy in the conflict, but is an individually being a good guy. So I'm gonna see I imagine a lot of my characters are gonna be very orcish, to be entirely honest. Unless there's high elves that are doing some horrific shit, but then you got this one dude just walking around with a camper backpack that's a high elf, and you're like, hey buddy.
Hiya, buddy.
Or like a tiefling or
Yeah,
an archive.
exactly. Someone that doesn't have a good reputation, but then you meet one individual that's not only helpful, but that kind of depth of care, I guess. I like to put the dangerous group of people having an individual with that level of care. I guess that led me to be like, if the orc isn't a straight up warrior, what the hell is he doing at his camp aside from hunting or crafting things? And I thought, heck, I could see someone be distanced from warfare if they're as nice as, and then we'll probably go into being like a worshiper of some something.
Yeah.
Some group of what the hell. But yeah,
I like it.
now that is a thing. But
Can I just say that Stellan has the best laugh?
one of the best ones. It's perfectly unrelated, and I love it.
I mean, we all got good laughs. I like to think. I don't know.
Good comedy photos in indie Discord is good time.
We got some great chuckles.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be honest, last note is that I went orc first. Then I thought if he's not the fighting type, what's this orc doing? He's probably talking to folks about the divine or whatever. And then you got the dead part was honestly kind of like, I guess I wanted to zhuzh up my character a little bit instead of just being an orcish monk. It's like, yeah, I've experienced death. I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to do everything else except that.
That's cute, actually.
You know, I never, I don't know how, I never considered that angle, but it's really fucking good.
Exactly. I'm really happy to keep people from dying because I can tell you from first-hand experience, sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks.
If you die and your HP goes to 0, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
But done.
Inadequate days are to be had.
Next.
Anyway,
Next question. Dylan.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's been the most strange moment for you this game? Like, what strike you as like the most odd thing that's happened out of all?
Oh boy. Let's see. I think. That's a tough one.
Just the thing that made you go like, wait, what the hell just happened? You know, that kind of thing.
I think with that, it would probably have to be. It probably had to be at the Circus of the Damned when Stormager got charmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair
That
one.
was I
Hey,
Hey,
I-
fair
hey, remember when you got charmed? And I totally forgave you? Because I'm such
Yeah.
a great fucking person?
Look at that. The tone of
I
forgiveness.
was expecting the demons to turn on us, but I wasn't expecting Kyle to successfully charm the party's tank.
Yes.
Rip.
Yeah. It was a really good call, actually, all things considered.
It made me realize that if your character gets charmed, you have to like pivot completely how they're approaching the situation.
Right?
And that's
Right.
really terrifying at times.
Yeah. That's the fun part, is not only making the character and fleshing them out while playing it, but like having them thrown into sideways circumstances that like it's way beyond what they're used to.
It's good shit. It's good shit.
It's
It
good.
really,
It's
it really lets you flex your RP muscles.
Finally,
think-
some good fucking food.
I think the other moment that threw me for a loop was, I don't know. It's spoiler thing. It's where we
Ah.
if we encounter a certain type of monster that I was not expecting us to face this early.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that
Oh,
threw me
yeah.
for a loop. I will be honest.
Wait,
Yeah.
hang on.
I
Hang
was
on.
terrified. I thought we were going to die, to be completely honest.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're on about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
fair,
because we
that's fair.
probably were going to die until we did that one thing. I
Yeah.
love being
Yeah.
vague.
Okay, so
Oh.
you satisfied with that answer, Dylan?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Satisfied with that answer?
Yeah.
Alright. Spark,
Sup?
if by some means Sintra was able to become an Asimar, would you take that opportunity?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
I know you had mentioned, like, at some point, off of recording, like, that you kind of wish you had done that, but that wasn't a thing put in, like, the first episode.
Yeah, the thing about it is that like Asimar is a lot closer to Citra's character, so much so that I actually made her a full-on Asimar in another server.
Okay, so that... Fair enough.
So,
Alright.
you listening, Kai?
Actually, I might have something in plan.
Oh, Lord.
So,
Oh
Kyle,
no.
Yes.
what can you tell us about the Warbanes, about why they got their specific powers, both in universe and out? Like, why do the Warbanes have their specific powers, both in universe?
They're
'Cause I
specific?
know if you
I don't.
wanna,
I
like,
think.
avoid
I
spoilers,
think
you don't have
in
to
universe is a
That
major
is-
spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that,
think
that makes
so.
sense. I'm just more curious as to about why these specific powers were chosen more than anything.
A lot of it mostly because I thought it would be cool. Really?
Fair
That's
Fair enough.
I should have expected that, but like,
I
you know.
I might have to admit I'm like when I found out that I was getting the Eyes of Mistra and that they're
Well.
I was
Nice
a little
going.
I was a little disappointed, honestly.
Well,
Yeah.
there we go.
I will also go
Yeah.
ahead that
Spoilers.
like the fact that we weren't expecting Unthrak to get the gauntlets was like a really good twist, but the way you like made that make sense was also really good. Just like,
Yeah.
why you chose that
Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I've got one question for all of the rest,
Oh boy.
and like
Okay.
no judgment or anything to anyone else. Who's been your favorite player character?
I mean,
You're allowed
Not
to say
counting
yourself in
yourself.
this. Aw.
Not counting yourself. That's
So,
like no tooting your own horn.
Oh my!
I mean,
I think
I'm sorry. My favorite will always be Stormatrig.
can't argue.
I kind of expected that. I will be honest with you.
I love the
My
half-killed
favorite
Dylan.
has to
Kyle,
be
this is
Sintra.
also being reviewed.
Oh my god.
It's so cute.
Shut up.
Probably Unthreg or
Yeah.
or possibly Nipper, because we just have this dynamic going of, I know better than to get involved in your bullshit, but I'm doing it anyway. God damn it.
Because it's fun.
And fuck you for making me doing it, but I love you anyways.
Exactly. I appreciate the nomination, but Nipper does have a wonderful dynamic with Briar Date.
Alright, I do need to say we got about 5 minutes left.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
I got one
Alright.
question for everybody, if I can chuck it out there in the remainder, before we get to the conclusories. We talked about level 20 reachings possibly. If you could quickly explain in your head, what would your character's fully realized form be, I guess? Like, what are some characteristics of a fully skilled, fully experienced version of what you're doing now?
Sintra would probably be going around as like a mysterious. If like once all this is over, she'd probably be going around the world as a mysterious hooded figure, granting wishes to those who are worthy.
Right. That'd be rad. Nip, what about you, my dude?
Oh god, I have no idea what the hell Nipper would do. Like, especially, like, I think Nipper would be taken, like, once he got to a certain point of his druidic learning, he'd probably just, like, pivot and then focus on the artificing.
Yeah.
Like, that would probably turn into what he winds up doing. Like,
why do I get this idea of,
picking
like,
up what
peak...
Crystal put down.
Yeah. Why do I get this idea of, like, a peak druid that's, like, a forest tender? That, like...
Yeah.
You could even master enough magic that you can get all of the other animals to talk, and then you got, like, a mini community or something going on.
I'm thinking
Anyways.
like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Woodland Kingdom in Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it.
Oh, cool.
Zach Ari, how about you, Brett? How about you, brother?
I do not know.
That is fair. That is very fair.
Storm?
Well,
Storm, what about you?
He'll if what Sintra is gonna do is travel around, then yeah, he's also gonna just follow her around, mostly as a protector.
Yo, could you imagine the freaking
And
words?
Yes,
Yes.
and
Very sweet.
okay.
That's adorable. Why do I get this idea in my head of, like, there's a demigoddess that's very ascended, and then you got a dude with the title Divinity Guardian, who's a mortal that is so trusted by this divine being that they're like their personal bodyguard, but they also got a great thing going. That has a great potential for storytelling. I'm throwing a lot of words into your character's mouth, but that's how I'm seeing it in my head.
Isn't that the premise to Spice of Wolf?
Ah, shit.
I don't know what you mean, but
I've heard of that.
Actually, right.
Oh, man.
Anyway, thank you. This has been very fun. If there's anything I can say about my character's fully actualized version, it's I don't know if I've told this in the bit. I'll make this very quick. Friggin' Unthread, despite being really sweet and caring about people, was a warrior really good at fighting with no weapon. Like, how do you kill somebody with your nails and your teeth and all that? And there's a thing that ties back to both being a monk and being an orc, and I like the idea of being personified as, like, the feral spirit or something, like the thing that wants to kill that every monk is trying to get away from. So, long story short, I like zhuzhing up our characters' journeys with the titles that they give themselves at the end of it.
Yeah.
So, thank you for entertaining the question.
I got it.
We're probably going to head to the conclusories because our 5 minutes is up, but hot dang, I have loved every second of this. I love talking with the folks. It's been wonderful having all the everybody here. Wambu, Jiri, the whole gambit of wonderful minds.
Hot damn, you are very social today.
I'm pumped up. I've been eating up this interaction for a long time and for an entire year.
Aww.
This has been
Very
fun.
Like, story's been...
And let's see.
Happy anniversary, everyone.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
And let's
Here's to
see
1
what
year
the future
going in,
holds.
and maybe another year more.
I mean, Kai did say that we're not even halfway done, so probably more
Yep.
than a year more.
1 year, not halfway done. That seems about right.